Faith Forged in Fire, where we dive headfirst into the unique challenges and triumphs that comes with being a firefighter, all while exploring what it means to live out a biblical worldview. Join us as we find hope, perseverance, and faith in the midst of the heat and chaos. Welcome to the podcast.
That's like a mix between Hey Dude and 5'11" and Crocs.
Well, see, what I hate about Crocs is they're loose, but these, I can tighten those suckers right down.
You can, yeah.
Are those brand new, man?
Yeah, they're pretty. I've never
You're
actually.
in leisure mode right now. You're not in race mode.
Dude, those things are bad.
These are like rock crawling, not just off road, but full on rock crawling.
Oh, full on. I'm surprised you're not driving a Jeep Wrangler right now.
I know.
They're Subaru.
What's that?
Can you hook crampons to those?
No,
Snowshoes?
probably.
I like those.
I've never owned Crocs before. I've had off brands, but these were.
No, those are, like I
sale
said,
at the
it's like-
outlet. So I was like, "Oh, cool!"
It's like 5'11" Crocs
Exactly.
and Hey Dude.
Yeah.
all
came
together, and they're as comfortable as can be, and that's
They're
literally all I
Hey
care.
Crocs.
Hey, Crocs.
Those look good on you, man. Those are good. They look nice. You know,
They
I
do.
tell you, I used to think guys who wore Crocs were a little different, but you know,
They are.
you know,
Yeah. You know,
Isn't that right,
Steve?
TJ? TJ's a croc wearer, too.
Yeah, he is.
oh, is he really? Oh,
yeah.
all right. I'm gonna not make fun of Croc wearers.
You should see his...
No, you should. You
should.
totally should. You totally should. I don't care. I mean, come on.
I've always had an opinion, but you know, Connor wears Crocs now.
My kid wears them now, and now I'm a convert.
So my brother-in-law wears them, and I'm like, a little weird looking. And it's kind of a running joke, you know. And then my son started wearing them, so now I can't say anything, you know.
Why not?
At least not in front of him.
So what's the topic?
I do.
Crocs.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Crocs.
I think that's
Crocs
what
is our
we're talking
topic for
about.
We're gonna have a whole fight in the comments just
Oh,
because
my
we started
goodness.
talking
I know,
about Crocs.
Are we still recording?
You're recording right now.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I was just thinking...
I'm not used to it. We always stop in between
Most people are going to
episodes.
go like, well, they've been talking 5 minutes about
Crocs,
Crocs, and we just spent 10 minutes.
If we've been
complaining
recording
that
this
it's
whole-
2 hours into a half-hour podcast.
I know.
If this has been recording the whole time, this might as well just be one long.
Take the blooper reel is what we're gonna do.
Oh, man.
That's funny. All right.
So,
Welcome to the podcast.
you're.
Faith Forged in Fire, where we embrace the fires.
That forge our character.
Forge our character.
Good
we
job,
haven't said
Steve.
that in a while.
Yes.
Glad
I've
you didn't
not
ask
said
me.
that in a while.
There's gonna be a test next week.
Hey, we got a
already forgot
listener submitted topic, so we better make sure we answer this.
Answer it.
Steve, you submitted a topic?
No one else would.
Well, here we are.
I'm like a ghostwriter.
Okay, by the way, anybody else who wants to submit a topic, Steve?
Oh, we're doing this early. If you have a topic that you want to talk about, whatever it is, even if you're making fun of us, making fun of me, whatever, ffifpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know.
Crocs or no Crocs, let us know.
Tactic Crocs.
You know what? We got to do a vote on Josh's Crocs.
You know, we really,
What do you
actually, we
think
can
of
do
those
this.
things?
I don't know if they
we
can
can-
see them.
No, those are nice. You know, you got like what is it? Like, oh man, it's like leather on top of there or something.
Yeah.
Just, that's what I'm saying. It's,
Don't pet his
listen,
Oh my God.
this has got weird. Imagine if Crocs and Hey Dudes came out and made a shoe together.
Yeah.
He's got some Hey Crocs.
I like those things. Those are good. All right, go ahead. No.
All right.
And Steve is petting them.
I don't know what's worse, that we've had a whole episode on the Crocs or that we're on the third episode and the Crocs finally got noticed.
I noticed it early. I noticed it in the first
I noticed them
episode.
right away, but I wasn't going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
They're Crocs.
Lord, forgive him for lying.
Yes.
We all know you were going to do it, but
These are the only Crocs a guy needs right here.
Those are manly Crocs right there.
Those Red Wings?
Those are old school Crocs.
They're wildland boots. You
Right.
can't fight a good grass fire in Crocs.
No.
I don't want to fight a grass fire. Chief, I can't. I got Crocs on, man. I'd love to help you.
sorry, but these things are going to melt.
Put them in 4-wheel drive, PJ.
Oh, man.
All right. So our listener submitted topic.
So,
How do firefighters deal with bitterness and jealousy within the ranks? But I thought he was going to spit his water on me. Why is that funny, Jake?
He almost did.
Bitterness and jealousy. I'm just saying that's how you keep it down right there.
That's right. You be somebody nobody's going to be jealous about. Be the guy they make fun of.
I don't know. I have to say with those ones, there is a little bit. I'm feeling
A little bit of jealousy.
You're feeling a little jealous
yeah,
there?
a little bit. I am actually getting, yeah.
Hey, I
These
mean,
are- I like these.
I'd wear those ones.
well, you're wearing socks this time, so
I am.
I mean, I'm
All right. Anyways.
I'm surprised you haven't shown up in these with just bare feet.
Oh my goodness. That'd be the summer edition.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, we're good now. Let's
let's
get
go.
this
All
Are we
trade.
really? Are we good?
Oh
All
no,
right, we're good.
we're gonna try to
3,
be.
2,
So I ask this carefully
Why are you
because
looking
I
at me?
don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Uh-oh.
I plead the fifth.
I do.
But how often have you? Maybe I should ask it not just as chief, but because, and this is not an old joke, but because Rich has been in the fire service longer than any of us. How often have you seen this be a problem of jealousy
Over
and
Crocs.
bitterness in the fire service?
It's there. I think again, it's a lot like Steve comparing his spiritual growth with that other guy's. There's some guys that show up to training, put in minimal effort, wear the t-shirt, and there's other people that do their best, which might not be 100%, but they're giving it everything they can, and they advance quicker. So you've got a guy that's been on for 3 years, we'll say, that is kind of more advanced than the person that's been there for 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would rather go, you've been on for 6 years, but haven't proved that you can do the job. But Steve comes in, he's been there 3 years, and he's wanting to learn. He asks questions. He wants to learn. So when it comes to a task, I might go, hey, Steve, can you go do this? And now your feeling is hurt because I've been there 6 years, and Steve's only been there 3 years, and Chief doesn't ever ask me to do it. It's because Steve is shown in the heat of the moment. We'll go back to the episode 2 episodes ago. When I've only got moments to make something happen, it might not be because I really like Steve better than you, but I know that I can ask Steve to go get this, and Steve knows what he's doing, and he can get it done.
Steve has proven that to you already.
Wanting to learn and
Right,
willing to
and
learn.
in that case, you might be bitter because I'm asking
Yes.
Steve to do it, and you're putting cones out while I got Steve getting excavation tools out.
Yeah. Or we could flip that around. The guy that does show up all the time for stuff, who does put in the effort, but because, say, an officer is buddy with the other guy
Goes unrecognized.
Yeah.
who doesn't hardly show up or whatever, but now they're the one getting all of that when you're like, but I'm the one, I show up, I do the stuff. Where's the thanks for that, right? So I think it can work both ways.
Yep.
Well, that goes into sometimes the rankings in the fire service are for a number of different reasons. Half of it is for hard work, and half of it is political and who likes who and who's buddies with who.
Right.
And that's the I've known it's interesting. When I worked for the big department, it was very and I was actually talking about this morning. We had a thing where
But you do realize this is like a whole week after you talked
I
about
know
the other thing
I
in
know
the
about
morning.
the other thing. I know I have a lot of things in the morning.
He works out a lot too.
I've been doing 3 days a week actually, but no, it's
Tybo.
We talked about it. The department I worked at, they had a couple things. One was they had the you guilt by association deal where like if you had and it was in Arizona, it was the captain was like the guy that was the big guy on the truck, and if that captain was unliked, if you happen to ride in the same truck as that captain, you will never promote because you're associated
Yep.
with that, even though you're not
Seen that.
friends or
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You might not be like him at all, right?
It,
Yes.
it just happens to be on the truck, but you're noticed like
Because you're with him, you have to be like him.
yeah. So you'll never get promoted just because of guilt of association, or you'll get the guy that doesn't go with the flow. Like, because again, in order to get promoted, you got to be one of the boys, the political boys, right? And I actually knew guys that would have been great leaders in the department, smart guys, whatever, but because they were an outcast, that is as far as they were going to go is where they were at. And it was so sad because then you see the guys, some of the guys that they do promote, and you know exactly what, like you couldn't manage your way out of a box, out of a cardboard box, but yet you're someone's kid or you're whatever, you're in the right group.
Isn't that kind of isn't it the LA fire commissioner is under that heat right now? She kind of didn't know what she was doing, and with wildland
Seems
fires
to be,
out there,
yeah.
all kinds of stuff is hitting the fan.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw this question out there. I mean, I have an answer. I think we all kind of know the answer, but I'm working towards something here to try to, because we can talk about all the jealousy, but the question is, how do we deal with it? How do we control, can we control, let's ask it this way, can I control when somebody gets promoted, we'll say, over me because of who they know or the people they hang out with? I can't control that. We can't control any of those things that create the bitterness and the jealousy. So where do we start? How do we control bitterness and jealousy?
Well, it's all about how you react to it. I mean, that is a huge thing. In my experience, and I've experienced this. I've both seen people get promoted over me, and I've also been the person getting promoted over other people.
Yep.
One of the big differences is when somebody got promoted over me, I looked at it as like, okay, well, how can I do better so that I can get that promotion next time, if that's what I'm seeking.
Right.
Is it more training? Is it an attitude thing? Is it, what is it that's preventing this now?
So you hit on something. And by the way, another month or two of hearing the kids in the background. That was one of the comments. The people can't hear the kids in the background.
Yeah.
But that's all right. They're having fun, and they're going to have fun.
Great. I'm going to go yell at them.
Trying to record a podcast.
Quiet down.
Where's the squirrel?
Oh, the point that I was making is what you said. Your answer was, I look at that and go, well, how can I? We can't control what happens. Like, that for somebody to get promoted over us. What I can control is my attitude in that. And so if I control that attitude, let's say, we pick on Steve a lot. I'll pick on Steve. Let's say Steve gets promoted over me. He doesn't deserve it, but he gets promoted over me. And I'm bitter about that. Then what am I going to do? I'm probably going to be out washing the fire truck with you two and talking about how ridiculous it is and how Steve should never be the leader, and he can't trust anything, Steve. He can't find his way out of a paper bag. All the stuff we might say. And then what's going to happen?
Well, let me tell you a little story about that happening.
Okay.
When I got promoted, and again, now this is a different story. Now, and the thing was, this was within about 6 months that I was passed over. About 6 months later, then I got that promotion. I went up for the promotion against a guy who, if I'm being completely honest, was not qualified. He is unfit as a leader. I'm not saying he couldn't do the job, but as a leader, absolutely not. He does not have the temperament for it. And then the extra responsibilities that I really can't say on here just because of the nature of the job that came with it, he absolutely would not have been successful in. With that said, I got promoted, and one night shift, he's doing exactly that. He's talking to these other two people about, you can't trust Jake. He's not a good leader, all of that stuff. Well, what he didn't realize was we had an issue with our phones that night, and it was just ringing nonstop. Well, to solve that problem, he just took the phone off the hook and set it down. All of our phones recorded conversations. And so as soon as you pick that phone up, it sounds like there's a dial, like a dial tone. It's recording everything you say. And so he was recorded for half an hour. And it wasn't just me. It was other leadership as well. And he was gone by the end of that week. Wow. And that was not by his choice. And so that's what that leads to. So there's bitterness that will damage you as a person.
Right.
But then there's also that bitterness that can also lead to, consequences such as, being terminated from your position.
Well, and you play that out. Now, it's not going to happen with everybody because maybe you guys know that I have a bad attitude and you trust Steve. But in general, what's going to happen? The whole morale is going to go down, right? And you guys are going to start pitching into that.
Right.
And then when Steve tries to lead, he can't lead. Let's look at the other side of that, though. If I go, man, I should have gotten that, but you know what? God appoints leaders. He sets people up. If we look at that biblically, and I know God has a plan, I don't understand it. God appointed Steve. Like, we've got to understand biblically where, like, in those promotions, they don't happen by accident. We don't like to think about that. Even when we go, well, that person should have never been there. Well, God could have changed that if he wanted to. There's a very good chance Steve got that just for God to grow me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I go, okay, I am not here for me. I'm here to bring glory to God. Mm-hmm. And if we're talking about a fire station, I am not here for me. We are here for they, right? We can never let the mission of what we're here to do be compromised because of our own selfishness. So now what do I know? Really what I need to do is go, I need to make Steve look really good so our crew looks good, so this engine company looks good, so that most importantly, lives are saved.
Right.
And if I make that choice, what's that going to do for you guys? Like, it's
going to encourage
others. It's going to encourage, right?
So,
so now the jealousy and the anger isn't even going to be there if I deal with it the right way in the first place, right? It's got to be me.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. It just
and that's
loud
the noise. Yeah. The noise, the noise. It's all about us and how we deal with it.
Yeah.
Now flip that around, and you get that person that. Maybe now Steve's upset because I got promoted over him and he should have. Well, how do I handle that? I've got to really be humble about that and not treat Steve like a jerk and give him a reason to go talk to you guys. But rather, I need to do everything I can to try to help Steve out along the way. I think this is such a great question, but it comes back to what am I doing? I think what Romans 12 says, outdo one another in showing honor. If we would do that in our lives, because it's our own selfish pride that gets in our way. Any sin is the root of it is pride somewhere. Yeah. If at the very root, we think we know better than God, it's pride. So if we put that aside and we're outdoing one another and showing honor, what does that mean? That means that when Steve gets promoted over me, I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna pour honor on Steve. Might not deserve it, but God tells me I gotta outdo him in that. Yeah. And Steve says something to me, gives me a little honor. Oh no, man. I'm heaping more and more honor, right? If we had that attitude, we wouldn't have this problem.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
But like if we refer this back to church, as the pastor, what was your job? To make disciples. What are the disciples' jobs? To make more disciples. So in that command structure, if you're a good leader, your job is to help Steve become a good leader.
Yes,
that is your responsibility is to help the people underneath you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whether they're a guy that's been on the job for 5 days or is one rank behind you, it's your duty, it's your job to help build the leadership.
And I would say, I'm sure there's people who would disagree with me, but let's just say in this instance that Steve is the lieutenant on an engine company, right? And maybe I'm the senior guy that thinks I should have been the lieutenant. And Steve is not very good at developing people, and he shouldn't have been in that. Does that change for me? Should I still be developing you guys?
Absolutely.
Right. Like, well, just because I can't say, well, that's Steve's job.
Right.
Right.
All our jobs to make the team better.
Right. Yeah. And if that means kind of propping Steve up in a sense, even and doing his job. Now, I'm not saying that you do something wrong or illegal or when that person does something wrong or against the rules, you're not covering that up. But I'm saying there might be things where you're like, man, a good leader would have done this. And instead of just letting him fall on his face, you know, we can come in there and outdo him with honor and pick up. It's hard. It's hard to swallow that pride and do that. But doing that and doing that with the right attitude, it's hard, because I've been in those situations where I feel like, you know, man, I'm just not getting the recognition that I should. And then I'm reminded, like, well, that's not why I'm doing this,
Right.
you know? And I think it's hard when you feel like I'm trying to be a good teammate and a good contributor, but I feel like nobody cares about that. It's not even about me. It's just, I want things to go well, so I want to be a part of it.
Right.
So it's hard to pick up the pieces or pick up the slack from somebody else, right?
Yeah, and I mean, there comes a time when you have to reevaluate the entire situation, right? If you're 15 years in after that promotion and nothing has changed, and no matter how much team building and development you've done, you're just seeing, you know, people get picked over you time and time again, no matter what you do. All right, well, you know, maybe it's time to, you know, consider moving on to something else, moving on to a different department or whatever. But in the meantime, you know, there's you know, it's just like, and I'm gonna butcher this, and I can't really think of the scripture, but how many times are we supposed to forgive? Right. 7 times, 700 times,
70 times 7. Yeah.
7 times 7.
And it's the same way in the sense of, you know, how often are we to be good examples? How often are we to be leaders and develop, whether that's discipleship or developing other leaders? We're not to stop. We're not to stop.
Right.
And if you're looking at it through a career lens, well, you've got the option to look for other careers. If you're looking at it through the spirituality lens, don't stop, no matter, you know. I recently had a really good conversation with a local city manager, and she and I were talking, and we were talking about citizenship, and it was we were defining citizenship to each other and what we believe that a good citizen should be, and it always came down. Everything that we brought up kept funneling down into the quiet acts of the everyday, of the decisions you make, and the attitude that you choose. If you're going to be a good neighbor, you know, if you're going to you know, attend a meeting, if you're going to do, you know, just small acts, and it's no different with leadership, and it's no different, you know, whether you're passed over for promotion or not. It's how you react to things, and how you choose to act to things.
Yeah. I think part of this conversation too, as you're talking about this, Jake, just kind of triggered it in my mind, because you said, you know, if you're there for 15 years, keep getting passed over, then, you know, maybe it's time to look for something else. Well, we're talking about that in a career department, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I think it's very different.
And let me preface that with that's 15 years after the first time you've been passed over.
Right.
And then you are continuing to get better, but no matter what you're doing, you're you know, being overlooked each time.
Right.
Maybe that's where the department politics come in, and maybe that's where you got to take a look at that.
Let me finish my thought here real quick.
But yeah, finish your thought.
My thought is this, and Rich and I have had this conversation several times. I think it's very different, and it's important to say this. It's very different if you're in a volunteer paid on call department. Sure. Because of this. Here's my thought on this. If I get passed over, if I'm never an officer, okay, if I serve for 20, 30 years as a firefighter and I'm never an officer, did I fail?
No.
Absolutely not. I've protected my community. I've done what the Lord has asked me to do. Yeah. I also think about this. When I got asked to be a part of the fire department, when I signed up on the fire department, was there an ounce of me that signed up and went, yeah, because someday I want to be the chief or the captain or the lieutenant? Right. That wasn't there. Even when I went to the fire, like none of that was there. I was there to serve my community. So if if now you're so consumed with having a position,
Right.
I think you're there for the wrong reason.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Because I can still be a leader, and the better I get, the better it is for my community.
100%.
Right?
Well, and
so I think that's where the difference
That's
is.
where it's important to differentiate
Yes.
between career department and volunteer.
And we need to check our attitude at that point and go, okay, if I'm mad because I never get promoted to this officer position,
Well, first of all, if you join a local volunteer or paid on call department with the expectation of gaining a title other than firefighter, you're probably there for the wrong reason.
Yes.
You're probably just waiting for the t-shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're probably waiting for the little sticker to put in your
Yep.
car window. And your 10% discount or whatever you get.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Here's another thought for you, and I'll use a percentage scale to make it a little easier to visualize.
Percentage, that's math.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just kidding.
So let's say I've got to promote. I got to make somebody a lieutenant, and it's between Steve and PJ. And I've thought about it. We've done it. If there's testing to be done, you've done testing. Now I'm 92% sure that I want Steve, but PJ's vote is 90. So it's neck and neck. You got to do what's best for the team. And I pick Steve. Now I'm going to watch. You bet your money.
Oh, how you're going to handle it?
I'm going to watch PJ. I'm going to expect PJ to be upset. Why would he not be? He's
Wants it.
been doing it. He wants to be promoted. You know, his heart's in it. He's a good guy. It was really close neck and neck, but I had to pick Steve. PJ cops an attitude, and I hear him talking to the guys up back about how Steve doesn't know what he's doing, blah, 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 blah. Is that a leader? No. That's a guy that's going to, in a small department like mine, that one thing that PJ's doing could wreck the whole department.
Absolutely.
I've been
Right.
through it.
Yeah,
What was your deciding factor to pick Steve over PJ?
Well, it wasn't the Crocs. I know that much.
Because if he did,
my vote.
because I had
I think that was the reason.
But the thing is that's showing character.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
if PJ sits here and goes like, oh, man, I don't like that. Hey, and he comes to somebody and says, your decision is made. I respect that. What can I do better
right.
next time?
What tip that?
And I can maybe sit down and explain it to PJ. Here's the deal. You guys were neck and neck other than
Yeah.
Steve has got these credentials that you didn't have, so we felt he'd be a better leader.
All right, I'll go get those.
But you
Yeah.
are out in the bay, and Jake comes by and says, why do we load the hose this way? And you're right there going like, well, this is why we do it this way, or this is where this is. I'm watching that stuff.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to do promotions. Probably. Well, I've got my officer tray full, so I don't know when I'll promote again. But I guarantee you that if I have to do it in 5 years from now,
Right.
the actions of the other people,
Sure.
like if Steve goes, "Hey PJ, where's this? Where's the scene light?" I'll use an example, and PJ says, "If you don't know where that light is, you might as well get back on the truck because you're worthless."
Yeah.
That is not leadership material.
Yeah.
If PJ just simply in the heat of the moment has to say it's on the passenger side second door, at least PJ's taking the time and trying it. We watch those things.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I've seen that in the big departments specifically. Like I can think, I don't want to say too much, but where I saw that and it was a big deal. Like it wasn't just a small promotion. It was a big deal. And people who made that promotion talked to me and said, you know, hey, I feel really bad for the other person. They genuinely felt bad. But we're going to watch him and see how he responds.
Yeah.
The very next time that same position opened up, who do you think got it? And it was me knowing that, I'm like, oh, I know who's going to get this because I was watching him and I watched his response. And then it was like, yeah, you definitely, we were this close in the first place. You responded correctly to adversity. Here you go.
Yeah.
What were you going to say,
I was
Steve?
gonna say I got another one here. Let's take it to the other end of things, okay? I've seen this as well. No, this is good.
Not saying anything.
As a Christian
back
first,
listening.
as a Christian first, sometimes promotion is being unethical to get that promotion. So sometimes not getting that promotion is a compliment because you were not willing to sell your soul.
Yes.
Because I've known, now this is, I've been told this, And this one, it broke my heart when I heard it. I had a guy, a good brother in the Lord, at the department I worked at, told me that there were people that moved up to the chief level that all of a sudden won't even talk about their faith ever, because they knew if they did, they would not get promoted. So these people sold out on God. Said, God, I'm putting you off to the side because I want to get this promotion, because I know if they know where my faith is at, I will never go up in this department.
Yeah.
So now you have to ask yourself a question there. Are you willing to turn your back on God just so you can make a promotion and make more money in the department?
Right.
Or are you willing to stand your ground and say, you know what? I know because of my faith and my ethical position, I will never go anywhere because I'm not willing to do what some people are willing to do.
Right.
So in a way, there's a compliment there because people know.
Yeah, so let's take that another step, because you just hit right where I was thinking. Another thought, I would call us back, and you say, well, this is about jealousy. Well, if we understand our why we're here, then this jealousy thing will go away. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? We're human, so not saying that. But when we fully understand, because for me, when I start struggling with that, I remind myself, again, I'm not here for me. I'm not here for the promotion, the title. I am here as a disciple of Christ to make other disciples of Christ. Paul calls it an ambassador. That's why I'm here. That's the only reason I'm here. That's the only reason I'm walking this earth. So we have to ask ourselves, just like you said, for one thing, am I pushing Christ out in some way? But here's another thing, and this situation wasn't the fire department, but it could be. Someone I know has had a possible opportunity in their employment to be promoted, and they are seriously considering not doing that for one reason. All the people that they have been able to share Christ with, build relationships with for the sake of making disciples, they would no longer be able to do that. They wouldn't have the time. They wouldn't have the ability. They wouldn't. And the thought is, what is more important? Comes back to burning the ships. And that's literally what was talked about. Is it time for me to burn my ships and say, I'm not here for the money. I'm not here. God's going to take care of me. I walk this earth for one reason, and that's to share the love of Jesus with other people. I'm his ambassador.
Absolutely.
And I think when we start thinking about it that way, it takes everything else out.
Absolutely.
It's time to end this thing.
Yeah, we got to land her. Well, hey, you know, if you wherever you love to listen to us, Faith, Forge, and Fire.
He's getting it.
And I'm getting better at this. I've been practicing.
We are pushing 100 episodes, and he finally got it right.
Just take another 100 episodes. I'll get some other stuff right.
Do I got to sit by you for another 100 episodes?
Oh, yes, you do.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm in, Steve. Let's do it.
I'm not going anywhere, buddy, pal.
I'm in.
No, it's, hey, wherever you love to listen to our podcast, you go to any podcast source, right? And go YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Go and check it out. And please subscribe too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Don't just listen, subscribe.
Spotify's all over us. Please subscribe. And, they're like
They even know we exist.
Like a blanket.
They don't.
No, they're on us. No, please go over there and subscribe. Also, too, you got any show ideas, anything you need prayers about? Hey, some of the people have written to us in the past. Please reach out to us again. I want to hear what's going on with you.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that in the microphone.
No, it's okay.
Steve, I'm not bored. I just need some red flannel coffee.
Well, I was gonna go next. If you have anything you need to talk about, ffifpodcast@gmail.com. But talking about red flannel coffee, we have our man right here. Jake, why don't you lead us off here and finish us up with red flannel coffee?
Well, Steve, today, if you go to redflannelcoffeeco.com and use PJ30, you'll get 30% off your entire coffee order.
All right, but what about that nice cool bag you sitting there?
No.
Talk about that one.
You ain't getting nothing off that.
No. Please talk about it.
Yeah, so, as we said before,
we're banking that by this episode, it's gone anyways.
It very well actually may be gone by this episode. It's going pretty quick. The Forged in Fire collection, a special collection specifically for this podcast, where all the proceeds benefits this podcast, and we got to caffeinate our boy over here. I'm just kidding. It doesn't go to him. It does go to the support our studio and just keep us going. So hop on to redflannelcoffeeco.com. check that out. Check out all the other cool stuff that we have on there.
Tell us if you would buy a burn the ships.
Ooh, they don't need to tell us.
I mean,
They don't need to tell us.
They don't get a
it doesn't mean
don't
we're
have a
gonna.
choice.
It doesn't mean you're gonna have it. I'm just curious if they buy it.
There may be, so this is a special edition coffee that may or may not come back. It might just come back once a year in small quantities. But I am considering doing another one, and maybe it will be a burn your ship.
Burnt ships.
Burnt ship.
The coffee that was roasted on the
Hey,
burnt ships.
Listen, as long as it doesn't taste like burnt ship, I think we're gonna be all right. And on that note,
Bye bye. See you next week.
we will see you next week.